In this short video, we are going to show you how to set up an account with Stripe. Now, Stripe is a payment processor, and Stripe happens to be the recommended and really the favorite payment processor that's integrated inside of InkSoft. Now, in order to process payments through the InkSoft shopping cart and bill your customers using their credit cards and debit cards, you're going to have at least one payment processor active. And if you're going to choose any one processor, we strongly encourage you to choose Stripe. Now, why are we recommending Stripe? Well, namely, it's the easiest to set up. And I'm going to show you and demonstrate that in less than 2 minutes, you can set up a Stripe account and process credit cards and debit cards. The pricing is explicitly and it's super competitive. So payment processing is a really old industry and it's so competitive and cutthroat. Usually pricing is so similar, it doesn't make a difference. The value is Stripe doesn't charge an upfront fee or a monthly recurring fee. It's a fixed transaction fee. The other consideration is the old way to do things is having a payment gateway and then a merchant account. So it's two separate accounts that you're paying for. Stripe, it's one account. So we absolutely love Stripe for those reasons. We encourage you strongly to set up a Stripe account, and we think you'll love it too. So let me show you how easy it is to set up your account. So here we are at stripe.com. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click sign up. And when I do that, the very first thing I'm going to do is enter in an email address. So in this case, enter in whatever email address you want to use. Type in a password. And of course, confirm your password. And click create your Stripe account. And really, you're about 50% of the way there. So I'm going to go ahead and dismiss this message, this welcome message. I'll go ahead and save my password in my browser. Now, right now, you have a Stripe account that's in test mode. And you'll notice, you'll see a toggle here, test and live mode. If I try to toggle this to the live mode, notice I'm going to get a little prompt here saying your account is not active. So what you're going to want to do is click activate account. And really, this is the balance or the other 50% of creating your Stripe account is you just need to fill out this one-page form. It's super simple. You can see that there's not that much data, whereas setting up accounts with other processors can be a bit of a challenge. So in this case, you're going to go ahead and describe your business and services. You're going to go ahead and enter in your business information. You'll notice that depending upon which of the business types you select, whether it be corporation or LLC, it's going to update dynamically. So it might require your tax ID number. If you're a individual, it's going to make tax ID optional. So go ahead and fill out all of your information. Then you're going to go ahead and validate your identity. And the easiest way to do that through services like Stripe is to log in with your Facebook or Google account or your LinkedIn account. And that's just proving that you exist, that you're a human, that you have accounts and using other services. This is not uncommon. In fact, if you ever used Airbnb, which is a rad service, they have you validate your identity in the same exact process. So you'll continue to fill in all this information and you'll go down here. I do want to point out something important, credit card statement details. This is the information that will appear on a credit card statement. So you want to make sure to make this reflect your actual offering. So if you're promoting your services using your URL like inksoft.com, you'd want to make sure to reflect that here just so consumers don't get their statement and freak out thinking that it might be a fraudulent transaction. So make it clear. And then lastly, we're going to put in our bank details, and that's your routing number and your checking account number. And that way Stripe can deposit funds directly to your account. So when you're done with all this information, click Activate Account, and nearly instantly you'll be able to use Stripe services. If for some reason your account is flagged, it will be internally reviewed by Stripe, and they'll follow up with you if they need any additional information. From our experience at InkSoft Support, you can create your Stripe account nearly instantly and start using it instantly. So you can see that process will take less than 2 minutes, and that was me describing it. Now, what we're going to do is go ahead and go to InkSoft. We're going to log in to the InkSoft admin portal. And the very first thing you're going to do in order to create a relationship between your Stripe account and your InkSoft powered shopping carts is you're going to go ahead and click the settings icon. And you'll see my mouse hovering now over the settings icon. Go ahead and make that selection. And what we're going to do from the left-hand side is expand shopping cart settings. And we're going to go ahead and select payment processors. And once we do that, you'll go ahead and add a new processor. Now, it's possible to have multiple processors active, but in this case, we're going to go ahead and, from the dropdown, select Stripe. Now, you'll notice to the right of some of these payment processors, there's going to be an asterisk. And that asterisk is going to indicate that these payment processors will require the use of an SSL certificate. Now, an SSL certificate is a way to encrypt and process cards securely through your InkSoft-powered shopping cart. Now, InkSoft provides a free SSL certificate, and we also make certificates available for purchase. So you can have your own dedicated certificate, and there's different levels and different features available through different certificates. But an SSL certificate, for those of you that aren't familiar, that just indicates that the shopping cart session is secure. And let me give you an example of that. If I go back to Stripe and account details, notice that green bar in the browser, and notice where it says HTTPS. The S indicates secure, and that green bar is a feature of that certificate. So I know that I'm currently, when using Stripe, that my session is encrypted. And that's the value of an SSL certificate. So we'll get to that in just a minute's time. Now you'll notice once I choose Stripe, so again, I've chosen Stripe from that dropdown, it's prompting me to enter in my secret key. So I'm going to toggle back to my Stripe account, and what I'm going to do is go to where it says Your Account in the upper right. I'm going to go ahead and click on Account Settings. And here there's a whole slew of settings. What I'm going to do is click API keys. So that's the third option from the left. Once I select API key, what I'm going to do is you can select either test keys or you can select a live key. So in this case, I'll go ahead and select the test key. Of course, when you do go live, you want to absolutely ensure that you have a live key. Otherwise, you will not successfully process credit cards. So you might just choose to use the live key. But I haven't fully activated this dummy account. This was just for demo purposes. So I'm going to select the test secret key. I'm going to go ahead and paste in that secret key into this field and click Save Account. Now you're effectively done. You've created integration between your Stripe account and InkSoft. So you can see that entire process. It's painless, super simple. There's a few more things we need to do to complete the process. Now number one is we need to enable the payment gateway. So you can see here it says disabled. If I click Enable, that's telling InkSoft to make it actual, to turn it on. And you can see now it went from disabled to enabled. Now there's one last consideration here. Because we're using Stripe, and Stripe requires a secured certificate, you can see here in red, only SSL-enabled stores can use Stripe. None of your stores are configured for SSL. We're going to fix that. But before we move away from this page, notice where it says payment icons. Depending upon the website theme and layout you're using from InkSoft, sometimes these icons will show up, sometimes they won't. So go ahead and select the icons that you want to display. Stripe does process American Express, Discover, Visa, MasterCard, so you can select all four. You might also choose to enable PayPal if you're going to set up your PayPal account as well, which is oftentimes recommended. So once you're done with this, click Save, and those settings will be updated. Now we're going to go ahead and do the last configuration, which is SSL. So you'll notice here in the on the left-hand side, I'm going to go to Expand Shopping Cart Settings, and I'm going to click Site Security /SSL Settings. And let me show you how easy this is to do. So at the very top, I'm going to go ahead and expand that accordion. I currently have one web store. I'm going to go ahead and select that single web store, and what I'm going to do is go ahead and save. And that's indicating that I want to use an SSL certificate for this particular store. Now that is the InkSoft provided and free SSL certificate, but you may choose to invest in a custom SSL certificate, in which case you'll go ahead and expand the very bottom accordion and click on this button, and that's going to allow you to see the different offerings and make your purchase. So that said, if I do go back to payment processors and we go ahead and expand Stripe, you'll notice that SSL message has gone away. So Stripe is now live. We are ready to process credit cards using our InkSoft-powered shopping cart.